Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You see me, I am a real person. You see Slade, he's Hollow Knight for tonight. We look into our crystal ball as we start the year and see what the hell is going to happen to the gaming industry. Hello, everybody. Real me here along with Digital Slade.
Hello, everybody. And by the way, Byron, this character is just called the Knight.
Oh,
the Hollow Knight is the final boss of the game.
Okay, Mr.
Yeah, just
fucking-
FYI, just FYI.
Fair enough. Oh, yeah, and that's what the DG stands for in DG Slade, Digital Slade. But yes, we got gaming
Please,
predictions. We got predictions
not
for
gonna
you
drink it.
for 2023, like we did last year and the year before that, as always. So, you know what, Slade? You said in the call you got some wild shit. Give me something wild.
Oh, you want me to open up with something wild? I was gonna kind of ease into it, but
Nah, fuck it. Don't ease
I
in.
guess if we're firing with the wild shit, then Hollow Knight Silk Song will not release in 2023. We've been bamboozled by Microsoft. That's right.
Motherfucker.
Not getting any trailers or anything. They're going radio dark again.
You know what? Motherfucker. I genuinely, my prediction, it will release in 2023.
At
Yes.
this point, I'm a doomer.
Yes, that's right. I'm the optimist right now. I think it will release in 2023.
What month?
What month? Fuck. I'm going to say it does slip out of the Microsoft 12-month guarantee. I think August.
Yeah. I would think it's sometime during the summer as well, if it would release.
Yeah,
this year,
probably
but,
very late into the summer. Maybe it hits the fall, but I do think it slips out of Microsoft's 12-month guarantee, considering how packed so far the fucking year is. Like,
yeah. All right, Byron. What's your prediction?
all right, you want something like sensical or nonsensical?
You could go either or. I'll follow up.
You know what? Let's bring some more positivity into this. Pokemon will have DLC. That's it. That's all for Pokemon this year. Will be Scarlet and Violet DLC.
I kind of figured, considering how it played out for Sword and Shield, that it would get DLC. I think it's almost kind of obvious that
Yeah,
it would.
I think that's the only thing we get for Pokemon this year.
Outside of any spin-offs that another company would make,
No.
agree.
I'm thinking DLC. That's it.
Well, hold on. Let me explain my thought process here.
Okay,
I
explain your
think
thought
from
process.
Game Freak, I agree. That's all we get this year is DLC for Scarlet and Violet. I think we get 2 packs similar to how it worked out in Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
It's like Sword and Shield had the Island of Armor and the Crown Tundra.
I was like,
I
what the
think
hell
it-
was the other one called? Because I knew Isle
Yeah.
of Armor. I didn't know what the second one was called.
I think we're going to get 2 packs. It's be pretty similar.
Yeah.
I know the Isle of Armor released in summer, and then I think the Crown Tundra actually came out the following year, like January or something like that. It was,
Yeah,
like,
I
delayed
think
a little
so.
bit.
I think.
I could be wrong. I could be misremembering, but I think we get one in like April or May, and then the other one in either like I want to say October or November.
Yeah, that sounds good. Like maybe like an April release for the first DLC and October release for the second one.
Yeah, I do think that we are going to get some form of Pokemon spinoff from another company.
Nah.
Because I feel like the Pokemon IP is just too large to rely on only DLC for the entirety of their 2023.
Didn't they do that in literally like for Sword and Shield? Like that was the only thing that released for Pokemon that year was the
No,
DLC.
we got fucking new Pokemon Snap and like
Wait, new
the
Pokemon?
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon remake.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a title along those lines. I don't know which Pokemon spinoff. If you put a gun to my head and say, no, it's like you must pick one, I'm gonna say we get another Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game.
Do you think they remake if now this will be a weird thing. Do you think they remake another one, the one highly anticipated one, or do they make a new one?
I think they would have to make a new one because the reason why I don't think they remake an old one because I felt like the one that would be like the most anticipated for like being remade that wasn't the first one would be Explorers of Sky and Explorers of Time.
Yeah.
Because with the Gen 4 remakes, along with like Legends Arceus being a Sinnoh themed game and whatnot,
Yeah.
I felt like a Generation 4 type mystery dungeon game, especially considering a lot of people unanimously kind of agree that's like the best one in the series.
Yeah.
I felt like the window for remaking that was last year, and I feel like we're kind of starting to get past like the Gen 4 stuff now.
Yeah, true.
So I feel like at that point they would have to make a new one.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. Man, a new mystery dungeon in 2023. Crazy.
Well, I would rather just keep it broad to like Pokemon spinoff.
That's fair. That's fair.
I feel like
Pokemon Unite 2.
Imagine.
I know you and many others have problems with Unite.
Yes.
God, yeah. Seth was telling me in the Mario Party TV chat, yeah, Pokemon Unite's like, ugh. It's very ugh.
All right. So let's talk about another company, outside of the Nintendo and Pokemon sphere.
Yeah.
Starfield, one of the most anticipated games of 2023.
Yes, it
I
is.
think that game will release in March.
March? Interesting. You think it's going to release earlier in the year?
Yeah, in fact, I would anticipate we get some form of announcement.
Yeah, like But the weird thing, though, Slade, is Microsoft doesn't have the greatest history of doing announcements outside of E3. Maybe that'll change in 2023, which would be great. But, man, my gut, I want to say Starfield gets delayed, but it still releases this year.
Well, the only reason why I say that it would be like March is because it was delayed from November to the first half of this year.
Yeah, true.
So if we go by that logic, June would be the absolute latest they could release it.
Yeah, and they wouldn't want to release it in May.
Yeah.
Because of another game we may or may not mention later.
Yeah,
Cough Tears of the Kingdom.
I feel like they don't want to compete with all the summer titles that will come out.
You know what? That's very fair.
So I think March or April makes the most sense.
Yeah, that's fair. Yep. We both agree though it's releasing this year.
Yes, I do think it will release this year, barring any. Look, guys, the game's just completely unfinished, but
yeah,
Microsoft has demonstrated with Halo Infinite has already shown they don't have problems releasing an
God, poor
product.
Halo Infinite, man.
So
poor Halo Infinite.
Take that as you will.
Alrighty. So, you know what? I'm gonna stick on the Microsoft train, and I'm gonna say Game Pass is gonna increase in price. Game Pass Ultimate is going to $20 a month. Game Pass PC/Xbox, because there are two separate plans for that if you want Game Pass just for your Xbox, Game Pass just for your PC. Those will increase to $15 a month at some point in the year.
I don't want to get into specifics of how much it'll increase by, but I do agree that we'll see a price increase.
Yeah, because as we covered a few weeks ago, Xbox already increased the price of their first-party games, because, they actually have first-party games coming out this year.
I actually think they take a different approach.
Really?
And the base price of their consoles is what increases.
Really? Really?
So we'll see an increase in price of the Series X and the Series S. As well as, I guess if we're going to go into competitors, I think the PlayStation 5 also sees an increase in price.
Technically, we already did see an increase in PS5 price, just not in the US.
True, but I think it will extend to the US as well.
Crazy. I feel like, especially, maybe they could get away with it for the Series X. I feel like they can't increase the price of the Series S, man. I just can't. That's their baseline. It's been selling like hotcakes. at that
I
price.
guess that's true. I think if any of the two consoles don't see the price increase, the Series S would be the one.
Yeah, because it's like
But
a
I
very
definitely think
good.
the Series X goes up.
Yeah, it's a very good baseline next gen console. Even though, like, I know the developers of Gotham Knights complained about the amount of memory that they had to work with on the Series S. I don't know if you heard about that one, Slade.
I haven't seen the story specifically, but I can imagine, considering the difference between the S and the X.
Yeah. And again, I don't think PlayStation will increase their prices. They already did it in damn near everywhere else. If they do in the US, man, the amount of heat they'll get, man. But you know what? Anything can happen, honestly.
All right, Byron, so what you got?
PlayStation Plus's premium classic retro game offerings will continue to be absolute trash.
Yeah.
They have been.
Honestly, they're not going to put any of their legacy masterpieces like up there. You're never going to see shit like Medieval or any of the older Crash or Spyro games.
Well, they kind of couldn't with those because Act of Blizz King, which we'll get to them at some point. But yeah, like and plus, like PS Plus Premium is the worst value subscription service in all of gaming. Somehow Nintendo has a better value. and they have the fucking expansion pack. But that is at least somewhat decent value compared to PlayStation Plus Premium. You get PlayStation Plus Extra and you can buy the retro games individually. That's what you do. That's the play.
Yep.
That is the play, in my opinion, with that. If you're a PlayStation fan, you get PS Plus Extra, and you just buy the classic retro games you want. Or you get PS Plus Premium if you want that PS3 streaming, which isn't exactly great, but...
All right, I'm going to piggyback off that. We do not see any console inclusions for retro consoles for Nintendo Switch Online or the expansion pass.
You're stealing my thunder a little bit. Yeah. We're not going to see Game Boy. We're not going to see Game Boy Advance. We're not going to see GameCube. We're not going to see Virtual Boy for the 2 Virtual Boy fans out there.
I'll go a step further. We will never see GameCube. As in ever.
Not on Switch.
All, like, ever.
Not on Switch.
Not on any console, because they've demonstrated previously that it's better to remaster and resell that era of titles than it is to like put a library of their titles together.
True. And you know what? Speaking of that era, we are fucking not getting Metroid Prime Trilogy. Cut it out, y'all.
Okay.
Cut it out, y'all. It's been way too long. I know you say there's smoke to the fire of the rumors and whatever, but that shit's dead.
All right. Hear me out. We've been wrong for going on 7-8 years now.
Motherfuckers.
Fucking... Who's to say that the 9th time isn't the charm, baby? It's coming out this year.
You know what, though?
It's coming out in July.
It's coming out in July. Interesting. Okay. I do have a positive Metroid prediction, though. We will see anything about Metroid Prime 4 this year. We will see something for it.
See, now this is where I'm the doomer.
You're the doomer?
Metroid Prime 4 still stays radio dark.
Really? I don't think so. I think we get it at E3.
I think they announced Metroid Prime Trilogy as something that's happening, and then we get the staff is very hard at work for Metroid Prime 4. We will not have any further information, footage, or announcements until 2024.
You know what? That's very possible. That's very possible. But
what my prediction?
You know what? I'm gonna believe. I'm gonna believe. All right.
I like how we've taken opposite approaches.
Yeah, that's so fucking funny. Normally we agree on a lot of shit. Okay.
Okay.
What do you got? Give us something I hopefully won't bounce off of.
Okay. Playtonic Games. Byron's pretty big fan of their studio.
Yeah.
I am as well.
Yep.
We will see the next thing that they've been working on.
Ooh, I would love that. I would love that. My gut is saying next year, because Impossible Lair did release, I think, in 21, but maybe we'll get a teaser for it, which would be great. I'm definitely, no matter what they do, unless they make like a shooter or an RPG, which I don't think they will, but
So Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair released in 2019.
oh, we're way overdue. Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I think this is where we see what they've been working
You know what?
on.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. Yeah, no, with that knowledge, yeah, we're gonna see whatever the hell they're cooking up, and me and Slade are looking forward to whatever they're cooking up.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of the studio. Even if I think that Yooka-Laylee was a somewhat flawed title overall,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the Impossible Lair as
Yeah,
well.
Impossible Lair, one of my 5 best games of the year. Check that out after this episode. You know what? You're being the doomer, I'm being the optimist. Advance Wars Reboot Camp will release in 2023. You know
I
what?
agree. I think the game is probably going to come out. I don't know what month it will come
Yeah,
out.
I don't know either.
It's a completed game that's already ready to go.
Yeah, there's
Like-
cartridges ready to ship.
Yeah. All they have to do is just press the button. and do it.
Someone got their hands on it earlier in 2022. Someone actually played it, and we're posting stuff on Twitter about it. You remember that, right? Or did you avoid that?
I avoided it because I want to play it, even though like I already know it's like the games and their stories or whatever.
That's fair. I couldn't fucking escape it, but man, you know what? I have the faith Advance Wars will come in 2023. When? I'm not sure. I think it's just going to get dropped and just like, hey, it's out. Maybe a Twitter drop or something. That like, hey, this is coming out, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, you can get it in stores, get it on the eShop, blah, blah, blah. But Advance Wars will be dead after that. There will be no more Advance Wars. Because Advance Wars Slade is the most cursed series in all of video games.
Agreed.
The first one releasing around 9/11, the DS one releasing around the recession. This one may have released around that whole Russia-Ukraine situation. Like,
Which is still ongoing, by the way. It's probably why we haven't heard anything yet.
yeah, but that Advance Wars series is just cursed, man.
All right. So another RPG series that are RPG remakes
Mm-hmm.
that we're gonna get news on.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2
Oh yeah, Rebirth.
was announced to come back in winter 2023.
Mm-hmm.
I think, considering Square Enix's track record, that gets delayed into 2024. So we do not see Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. And I think 2023 will be the year of Final Fantasy 16.
16. Yeah. Yeah, I can get behind that. Yeah. I agree with that. The fact that we got a winter 2023 date for Rebirth makes me go like, yeah, that ain't happening in 2023, especially considering the next mainline Final Fantasy is coming out that year as well. I'm like, one of those two is getting pushed back. And if I were Square, I'd just push back Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah.
Give it more time in the oven. Give it some space.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're going to want to give the titles some space from each other too, right? Like, so
Yeah.
not even just purely developmental.
Yeah, just like from like a consumer mind share perspective.
And we want to see if Final Fantasy 16 can stand on its own merits as
Yeah.
well. So,
Which, you know what? I'm gonna put you on the hot seat. When does it release?
I think Final Fantasy 16 is already announced to release in either spring or summer this
Okay.
year. I would have to actually look up real quick when they announced that it would release. I'm pretty sure it's pretty soon. Okay, so Final Fantasy 16 is supposed to release June 22nd.
Oh, it has a date. Oh, I didn't know it had a date.
I think they're going to stick to that date.
Yeah. Yeah.
As for Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2 Rebirth, I think that comes out in either March or April of 2024.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe a little bit later than that. But, yeah. Yeah, and you know what? Speaking of, you know what? I'm going to do a thing I failed to predict 50-50 last year. So last year, I predicted what 6 games would be TGA's nominees. I will predict 5 of the 6 this year. You ready to hear them, Slade? It's pretty obvious, though.
They're pretty obvious.
Yeah,
go on.
So, Starfield.
Okay.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 16.
Okay, those are the 4 that I thought were obvious.
I only listed 3 games.
Oh, go on, keep going.
Spider-Man 2.
Okay, that's the 4th one. Keep going.
Hollow Knight Silk Song is the last one I'm predicting to be nominated.
Yeah, I can't agree with this because it's getting delayed.
It's not getting delayed, Slade. It'll get delayed, but not out of the year.
Well, that's not really delayed because they haven't announced a release date. So
well, no, but Microsoft promised, like, it will release within, like, a year at their E3 last year, and I think it's going out of that time frame.
Isn't Team Cherry?
True, but Team Cherry gave... Whatever.
Yeah, I know. I'm just giving you shit.
Whatever, but yeah. There we go.
Hold on. Are you saying that if Metroid Prime 4 gets something out this year, it's not making the game?
No, I don't think we get the game this year. I think we get
a trailer. Okay.
Yeah, we get a trailer. We're not getting the game. We're not getting the game till next year minimum.
Probably going to be like 2025 or 2026.
At this rate, it fucking feels like it.
Or whatever Nintendo's next console is. Speaking of which...
Yeah, let's just transition into it. What do you think?
This is probably going to be a pretty obvious one to most people.
Mm-hmm.
But we will not see Nintendo's upcoming plans for their next console. Even though Byron and I have kind of been somewhat alluding to it's coming very close to it being a good time. Mm-hmm. Considering their sales figures, numbers, and whatnot.
Yep, which next few weeks, I believe there's more sales numbers. Our favorite thing to cover. Very excited for that.
They will go against the grain, and they will decide not to talk about whatever their next console plans are. Even though now is probably actually the best time for them to do it.
Well, I guess we're going to diverge yet again this episode.
Oh, shit.
So, I think we hear about next generation this year. I don't think it releases this year.
Well, yeah, I think either way, it's not releasing for a while.
Yeah, we both agree on that. I think we're going to see something more so in the fall.
Holy shit, you are the optimist this time.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, we're going to see the next generation of Nintendo sometime in the fall. But it's not going to release until probably late spring, maybe the summer of 2024. Which would be very unique for a console to release in the summer, but I think they're going to pull the same thing they did with the Switch, have like half a year or a little less than that lead up to the holiday season to have some banger video games right there.
All right.
Because that worked out so well for the Switch. You had Zelda and Mario on the same console in the same year, heading towards the holiday season. And look at the Switch. I think very similar.
Honestly, I would argue that the success of the Switch was because of its very, very strong launch window.
Yeah.
Because within the launch year, up until that December, you already had a Mario game, you already had a Zelda game, and you already had a really good RPG in Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Oh, and you had a really good multiplayer game in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it was just a perfect storm. It was the must-have console.
Yeah,
of
I think Nintendo will replicate that to a degree.
So the reason why I don't think they announce it or try to replicate it is because if that was the plan, I feel like releasing Mario Kart DLC for like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was not the play. But because they chose to do that, leads me to believe that we're not going to see Mario Kart 9 within the next 2 or 3 years. So,
Well, the only thing I will say, Slade, is I think a smaller team in the Mario Kart team have been working on the DLC. Because they also worked on Tour, and they probably have those assets they could easily import between Tour and 8 Deluxe.
I would be incredibly interested to see how it would play out then. Because I feel like at this point, the playbook for a successful launch window for any Nintendo console is to have a 3D Zelda game, a 3D Mario game, and a Mario Kart game within the first 6 months of the console's release.
You know what? Here's where I think I'm going to buck the trend a little bit. Mario Kart is not the multiplayer game at launch for the next system.
You think it's Splatoon 4?
No. I think it's a Mario Party. Because
I can see that.
Yeah, because Mario Party.
It would be quite access to. I don't think Mario Party is on par with.
Well,
Mario Kart
no, but like
sales
Mario
going
Party
up.
over the past few games has been selling really fucking well.
I mean, yeah, like 10 million copies, like a game, right? Like, that's
But give it a
pretty good.
chance if it's like the multiplayer game for the system. People fucking love Mario Party. They've loved the past couple of Mario Party games. Like,
We'll see.
we'll
see.
get more into that whenever we do our next gen prediction video. But there
All
we go.
right. So moving away from the console trends
Yes.
and whatnot, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to get announced this year. I think with the leaks happening,
Yeah,
like,
God.
however many months ago, I think they're pretty much forced into the situation where they have to officially announce the game. I think it'll probably get announced within the first 4 months of the year.
Do you think it comes out this year, or do we get a teaser?
Hell to the no. If those leaks were anything to go off of,
Mm-hmm.
then it would be nowhere close to being ready this year.
Yeah.
I don't even think it would be ready next year.
Yeah. You know what? That's why I don't think we get anything.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like they're still going to have to announce the game, but they're just not going to show like any gameplay footage or anything like that.
Didn't we already get a cinematic trailer for GTA 6 though?
No. We have gotten nothing other than, yes, we are developing the game.
I
And
think that's
they gave us like splash art.
I think that's all we're gonna have for a while. To be honest with you.
I think we get something. All
Speaking
right, Byron, what's next for you?
speaking of things we will not be getting, I do not think we will get a Mario game to line up with the Mario movie. I used to think that. I used to think, and you could probably attest, Slade. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a Mario game with the Mario movie. But
I'm
as we're
speechless.
getting closer and closer, I'm starting to think less and less of that happening
Okay.
because of a variety of
Are
different
you just
factors.
saying there's no Mario game along the movie? Or are you saying there's no Mario game this year, period?
That's a tough one. I'm kind of leaning towards both, to be honest.
Wow.
But we have gotten at least one Mario game, or at least two of them a year. This year, apparently, according to the Mario Broth Twitter account, 2022 had the lowest amount of Mario games in a long time, with a whopping 2 of them.
Which is why I think they're going to bounce back in a big way. We are getting a new 3D Mario game, as well as a bunch of other Mario spin-offs. I think this is going to be the year of the Mario
The
Bros.
year of the
Nintendo's
Mario?
gonna go
What
absolutely
spin-offs
crazy.
are fucking left, though? Like baseball?
Fucking, they double dip back into tennis or some shit. Like another Mario Party game. Like, I don't know, Byron, but I just know that Mario's coming back in a big way this year. This was the easiest prediction of my life.
You know what? I gotta
stunned. You're like, there's no new Mario this year. Like,
at the very
by
least,
that
I don't
prediction.
think we get a Mario game that releases alongside the movie or around the movie, and we're fucking definitely not getting a Mario movie game. That's for
Yeah,
damn
no,
sure.
I don't think we're getting a Mario movie.
But, like,
That'd be crazy.
I don't know. I think they're saving 3D Mario. I think they're saving it for next generation.
No, I think we get another one. At the very least, we're getting a 2D Mario game. We're getting a mainline like Mario title.
Yeah,
of some
like
kind. Like straight up, like we just had the weakest Mario year of all time last year since the release of the original Super Mario Bros. They are bouncing back in a big way this year. I think you're insane.
I wouldn't say weakest since Super Mario Brothers, but it's definitely been one of the weaker modern Mario years because we got Mario Strikers, which gameplay great, content-wise, it's like on par with the first game, which is not what people wanted. They wanted content on par with Strikers Charged. And then Mario and Rabbids, which I've heard good things about. But
and that's the other thing. Mario and Rabbids is developed by Ubisoft. So, like,
yeah,
that's how you know Nintendo's got to be packing a lot of Mario content.
Yeah,
no,
but
I think you're crazy. I think we're getting a shit ton of Mario.
I think
we're gonna get so much Mario this year. We're gonna be sick of Mario.
We're gonna be sick of them. But like the only thing, the next generation fucking looms over. That's the thing. That's the thing.
But according to my earlier prediction, we're not getting any announcements of the next generation of console or anything like that.
Well, yeah, you don't. I do.
Which means at like minimum, if that's a true prediction, then it's going to be 2 or 3 years before we even see the next console.
I don't think Nintendo can go 2-3 years with just base Switch at this point.
I think they probably will. Again, you say that, well, it would be financially feasible for them to do so, but then my argument is, when has Nintendo done anything that ever makes sense?
Well, true. Like
actually.
they released the Wii U in the dying days of the Wii. Like that dying days. Not the like, oh, we're sloping a little bit, let's release the next system.
Yeah,
I think we're in that phase.
In the dying days of the Switch yet.
In terms of sales, we may be. You know what?
Well, in terms of sales, we're just on a downward slope. We're not like it's not like dead yet.
All right. Well, we'll save more thoughts on that for later. But you know what? I got a positive one again. Sony will have a major PlayStation Showcase event in 2023. We didn't get one at fucking all in 2022. We barely know what PlayStation's lineup is heading into the year besides Spider-Man 2 and a couple of VR titles. So I think we're getting a major showcase event from Sony for the first time in 2 years.
With some games being timed exclusives, like Final Fantasy 16, for example, I think Sony considers that as part of their exclusive library.
I guess, but we have fucking dick all from PlayStation Studios. We got Factions is coming. They have like 18 bajillion games as a service games in development, which I'm going to talk about that in a moment. We have fucking VR2, which is going to flop. IMO.
I just think they're perfectly content to stick with their state of plays. That's the read I
Their
get.
state of plays that I do not believe have had a single major first-party announcement.
Yeah.
Well,
actually, yeah.
How will they announce their first-party games then for 2023?
Probably Twitter or something.
That'd be fucking Nintendo in 2021, 2020 type of fucking lame. This is prime years for Sony, my man. This is prime years. And you think, oh, fucking Twitter announcements. You think they could just go do Twitter announcements. But Sony have been very quiet, so, like, that's fair. Lord. And you know what? I'm gonna reel in. Sony, as many people have known, they're developing like 18 bajillion games as service games. I do think they will have a successful one release in 2023. Whether it's Last of Us Factions or something else. What do you think of that, Slade?
I'm inclined to agree. I think we do see something in regards to that.
Yeah. What do you got?
Alrighty. I think we see and this is another Nintendo prediction,
Lobao.
not just The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, but we see the HD remakes or rescales of Wind Waker,
I was waiting
Twilight
for that.
Princess.
I was waiting.
I think at this point, it's the last Wii U titles outside of Xenoblade Chronicles X
That could
that are
feasibly.
still stuck on the Wii U that would be supported on Switch.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I was about to bring up like Nintendo Land, Wii Party U, like some of the more party-centric games, but
those are the last like 3 titles.
if
And God forbid they're gonna come eventually.
they'll come eventually, but I don't think this year, purely because Tears of the Kingdom.
Well, I think they double dip with Zelda.
It's possible. They did go an entire year for the first time in like a decade without a single Zelda game, so it's possible.
Yeah, which is why I think they double dip.
Fair enough. You know what?
I think this year's gonna be crazy for Mario and Zelda.
Jesus. It's gonna be 2017 all over again.
Yeah, it's gonna be nuts.
Zelda fans will be eating. Speaking of companies that'll be eating, and I'm surprised it took us this fucking long to get to this. It took us 36 minutes. Actibliz King. I think the acquisition goes through.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the acquisition overall, but yeah, I do think that, like Byron and I were talking, the EU and then like whatever board that's fucking called that's disputing it doesn't have a great track record.
Oh yeah, the FTC has been fucking...
Yeah, FTC, yeah. So like fucking, it's going to go through.
Yeah.
It would take like actual fucking governments from countries stepping in.
It would take...
trying to break up big tech.
I think it would take the FTC, the EU's commission, and the CMA, which is the UK's version of the FTC, all 3 of them to strike it down for it to not happen, and I think at least 1 or 2 of those will not strike the deal down, which means the deal will probably go through.
I think it just goes through.
Yeah, and again, I'm surprised it took me this long to even, one of us this long to bring it up, but because it was one of the biggest stories of last year, if not the biggest in the gaming industry.
Talking about big stories. Okay, I got another one.
Oh, okay. Bring it.
I think the developer for Balan Wonderworld
Square Enix
will be arrested a 3rd time for insider trading.
Apparently, he's being prosecuted, like, I think as we speak right now in Japan for his 2 charges already. People were memeing, he's going to be arrested.
A 3rd charge.
Okay. You know what? I didn't think Yuji Naka would get 2 charges, so you know what? Sure. Throw in a
Honestly, I'm like, damn, we already got caught once.
You know what? He's going to get the Chaos Emeralds of Japanese insider trading arrests. He's going to get all 7 of them. 7. All right. I got one for you.
Okay.
Pikmin 4 will release in 2023.
Actually, I agree.
Yeah.
I think with the last 2 years for Nintendo kind of being on the lighter end in terms of like game releases, I think this year's going to be stacked.
Yeah. You know what? July or August for Pikmin.
I think it's July.
Yeah, probably July. Yeah. Yeah, we get a date either at the like winter Nintendo Direct or we get the date during the summer. Like on Twitter or something.
I think we get F-Zero on the NSO Nintendo 64 expansion.
I'm pretty sure we already have it, Slade.
Oh, well then, yeah.
There you go.
I was about to say, we're not getting a new F-Zero title.
Yeah, we're not getting new F-Zero. The closest thing, and I played the demo for this fairly recently, was Aero GPX, I think was what that one was called. The fan F-Zero game. You've probably seen it, I think, maybe.
I have not actually, but
it's F-Zero. It's basically fucking F-Zero.
I was just trying to bait and say we're getting F-Zero, but then it ended up being one of the old titles.
You know what?
I realized it was already on there.
Once again, more optimism from me. NFTs will be less of a thing in the gaming industry this year.
Yeah, I think with cryptocurrency kind of just crashing and burning right now,
Yeah.
along with the entirety of the market, actually, low key, we might be super fucked, like overall,
You know what?
and heading towards one of the worst recessions or depressions.
You know
of all
what?
time.
Let me bring this back with with another prediction. So recently, it was reported that in quarter 3 of 2022, it was the single worst year for desktop GPUs if your name is Nvidia or AMD. If you're Intel, you went from like a 0.8% market share to a 4% market share, which is great for them because they just released their Arc GPUs.
I think the breakup is definitely
But
having its effect.
I'm not done yet. 2023 will be the worst year yet for the entire PC and parts industry. That's my prediction. This will be the worst year yet for CPUs, GPUs, maybe not memory and SSDs, but like the main component. The main like big components, the motherboards, the CPUs and the GPUs. Those are going to be like the hardest hit, and it's going to be the single worst year for the PC industry.
I agree. I think it's going to be a problem that's going to get a lot worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
I know, ironically, crypto crashing and burning actually has a lot to do with that as well.
Yeah, because, like, look at NVIDIA. They charged stupid high prices when people aren't going to have the money. And same with AMD. Intel really are, like, the budget GPU kings right now. Because I think they're highest, I think they're the highest priced GPU they have, I think, which is the A770 is like $400.
For sure. Like I said, probably it's going to get a hell of a lot worse before it gets better.
Yeah. You got any optimism, Slade, in you right now? Because, like, goddamn.
The world's coming to an end. Okay. Because we already know we're not getting a major expansion for Sonic Frontiers.
Well, not till the end of the year, but...
Yeah. Well, no, major... Like, we're getting a story expansion, but it's not going to be a major expansion of the game. It's not going to be, like, another few open zones or anything like that.
Well, maybe we get another open zone.
Yeah, one, but like that's not all that huge.
True.
I don't think outside of the Sonic Frontiers content, we get any new Sonic content at all.
Slade, I said optimism, not pessimism. That's fair, though. I agree.
Prediction.
I agree. I agree. I don't think we're going to get any Sonic for a while. Maybe Sonic 3 next year when that movie comes out. I think I don't know if we even have like a release year for that movie yet.
I think it's probably going to be 2 years before we see that. And it's going to be interesting because Eggman's not going to be in it.
Yeah,
so.
That's going to be so weird. Unless they somehow give Jim Carrey an assload of money.
I feel like even then Jim Carrey probably wouldn't take the money.
I'm just surprised.
His retirement announcement.
If he knew there was a trilogy, I'm surprised he didn't stay on for the trilogy, and then that's it.
Yeah, kind of makes me sad, but
yeah,
it's what it is.
Yep, it is what it is. Okay, you know what? Atlas. You know Atlas Games, owned by Sega. We're going to get the traditional Atlas teaser of an announcement of Persona 6.
You know what? Yeah, I do think we see Persona 6 announced.
No, Slade. No, I think Atlas pulls their bullshit.
No, I agree that they pull their bullshit.
Oh, okay.
But it still gets announced at the end of the year.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
That they're going to announce something.
Yes, yep.
In April. And then they announce in, like, fucking August that the official announcement is going to take place in November. And then that's when the Persona 6 trailer drops.
Yeah, that's I don't think we get anything from Persona 6 this year besides the Atlas usual bullshit, and like you get the Byron of like 3 years ago and he'd be like, what the fuck is an Atlas? Now I'm like, I know about Atlas's bullshit, like funny like teaser for teaser stuff. Thanks mostly to you. I think
we agree that's going to be a weak year for Sega overall.
Yeah, it's going to be a weak year for You want to know who else? Yeah, I'm bringing the pessimism. You want to know who else it's going to be a weaker year for? The Summer Game Fest. Because I think, E3's coming back this year, which is exciting. We're also going to have Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest in person. I think on all metrics, E3 2023 will do better than Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest 2023. In terms of viewership, companies that are there, fan excitement, game announcements, all those metrics.
We agree. I think E3 is going to come back in a big way.
Yeah.
I think for at least their long-term survival, like, they have to come back in a big way.
Yeah, like, if this is a failure, what happens then? Who knows?
Oh, E3 is 100% just straight up fucking dead.
Yeah, and that will be a hit to
somewhere.
Yeah, and that will be a hit to Reed Pop's reputation a little bit. Because, they're the ones who run, I think, all the PAX events, some Comic-Cons. They run a fuck ton of conventions.
Yeah, that's why I think they're going to come back in a big way, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe both events will do really fucking well, which would be great for everybody. Because, competition is always the best thing.
Oh, for sure.
All right, you got anything?
I'm just about out. I will say this, even though it's kind of obvious. Fire Emblem Engage is going to be the only new Fire Emblem content we receive for all of next year.
Yeah.
That's coming out later this month.
Oh, so... and all the DLC, baby.
Well, that's true. All the DLC is happening this year as well, which, my thoughts and feelings on that.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, so don't expect any Fire Emblem remakes or any spin-off games or anything like that. Yeah. It's just Fire Emblem Engage.
Do you think it will be the fastest-selling Fire Emblem game?
I think there's a lot of things that's for and against this title, but I don't know. It's hard to read the landscape of Fire Emblem titles because of the success of the mobile game.
Oh yeah, Fire Emblem
as
Heroes.
Well as how every title since Awakening's been crazy successful.
Yeah.
With the exception of maybe Echoes, but even then, that was still successful enough. I think that this would probably be, because the game's very similar to Fates in a lot of ways that I'm not particularly pleased with.
Yeah.
But I still think it's going to sell its 2 to 3 million.
Yeah, copies. It's going to sell well. But do you think it sells the best of all time? Because look, last year we had Pokemon having its best sales numbers of all time with both Legends Arceus selling like 6 million units in like days, and then Scarlet and Violet knocking that out of the goddamn park with like 10 million units, becoming the fastest selling Pokemon game, fastest selling Nintendo game of all time.
I don't think Fire Emblem's that kind of franchise where people are like, who are fans, are just rushing to buy every single title like Pokemon.
Okay.
I think it's kind of a different beast. I think the one thing for Engage that I think hurts it compared to like Three Houses and whatnot is Engage is kind of positioning itself as some sort of spin-off title.
Yeah,
the main series title that it actually is.
Yeah, that is a bit weird for sure.
I don't know whether or not that's going to impact its sales or not. Again, I think it still sells probably its 2 to 3 million units.
Yeah,
and that's still very successful for a strategy RPG. So
yeah,
take that as you will. But yeah, I think that's all the Fire Emblem content we get this year.
Well, I guess I'll rapid fire off a few more since you don't seem to have any more. No,
I have some.
Oh, you have some? Okay. You know what? PS5 Slim releases this year.
Yeah, honestly, I was kind of surprised we hadn't seen one up until this point.
No, I get it. I think, though, this year, with the chip shortages somewhat kind of sort of easing a little bit, I think Sony may have the yields they want to be able to make, like, a slim console. Because I can't fucking escape, for some reason, this rumor. Sony apparently are thinking of making a slim model with a detachable disk drive, or like an external disk drive accessory. I do think a PS5 Slim will happen. I think it'll be digital only, to be honest. But that's just me.
All right. So this is the Square Enix prediction.
Oh boy, Square
Obviously,
Enix.
we know that Octopath Traveler 2 is coming out.
Yep.
I think this is the year of HD 2D. Not only do we see Octopath Traveler 2, but we also see Dragon Quest HD 3D.
Oh yeah, I forgot
out
that
this
was
year.
happening, to be honest with you.
So I think we see 2 HD 3D titles this year.
Okay. Get yourself a Square Enix prediction. All right, I got myself another Microsoft prediction. I think they kill off games with gold and paid online, and they integrate that into Game Pass. Or integrate whatever corpse is left of that into Game Pass.
For Microsoft?
Yeah.
I think that will happen. I just don't know if that happens right now. I think
I don't think it happens in the immediate 2023. I just think it happens at some point in the year.
I can see that.
Because games with gold isn't really much of shit, and paid online should have never been a fucking thing, but I think with like Game Pass, Microsoft want as many people on Game Pass as possible, and if you include paid online in that as well, like, yeah, I just think they're gonna kill those two things off, integrate whatever's left of the corpses into the Game Pass machine.
Yeah.
Yep. Purdue. Anything else you got, Slade?
All right. Final prediction from me.
Okay.
This could be kind of crazy.
All right.
I think we see a new Perfect Dark game this year.
You think the Perfect Dark game finally comes out this year?
Yes.
Okay. Because Microsoft a couple years ago announced that at E3, but it never got a release. You think it released this year? Okay.
Yeah, I think it is announced. At the very least, it's announced with the release window this year.
Yeah.
But I think it's just about time.
Yeah. Yeah, shoutouts to Everwild. That game's never fucking coming out. I guarantee you. That game... Do you even remember what the fuck Everwild was, besides, like, a thing Rare announced?
No, I really
Yeah,
don't.
it was a thing Rare announced, like, years ago, and it's apparently been through a reboot sort of similar to Metroid Prime 4. I think it just fucking gets canned this year. Because Rare don't know what to do with it. And they'll continue to ride the Sea of Thieves money train.
It's kind of strange, too, considering they even made another trailer all the way back in 2020.
Yeah.
But
apparently that game has been through some rough development.
Development hell is indeed a bitch. Let me tell you.
Yeah. So I have, at least on my list, I have two final predictions. Number one, of course, YouTube and Twitch will continue to fuck over its creators. I know a few years ago, I don't know if it was the 2022 predictions or 21 predictions, that I said Twitch would shut down. Which, surprise, surprise, I still stream on Twitch. Slade still occasionally streams on Twitch. The site ain't fucking down yet.
Yep.
I do feel like it's barreling towards that. I think we see it on the deathbed, but I don't think it dies this year.
I don't think either platform dies.
YouTube is never dying.
Yeah, I think
Twitch,
obviously YouTube.
Twitch has a better chance of dying because it doesn't make Amazon money. And I don't know if you saw this, Slade, recently. Amazon let go of like thousands of employees in the Alexa division.
Mm-hmm.
Because that ain't making money. So it's like I'm seeing that. Twitch still ain't making fucking money. All the issues with that. Like, who knows? And then, of course, YouTube will continue to occasionally do its YouTube thing and fuck over creators. Even though it kind of already started to do that late in the year, but if you know about the new controversy, you know. And my final prediction. Battle passes. You know about them, Slade, right? Them fucking battle passes.
Everybody loves battle passes in all their modern fucking video games.
They are going to continue to infest all the free-to-play, or 90% of the free-to-play multiplayer games.
I mean, I thought that was a given.
Even though a lot of these games that have the free-to-play model, you know what? I'm going to bring up a prime example. Chocobo GP. Honestly, that game shouldn't have had any free-to-play model of any type. Should have just been like, hey, you paid your $40-$50 for a good kart racer with online. And look what fucking happened there. Look at Halo Infinite. Maybe that shouldn't have gone free-to-play with a battle pass. Look at Overwatch 2. People are complaining about the fuck battle pass. Because it's so goddamn grindy.
Oh, yeah. It's just kind of like a fact of life at this point. These scummy developers have to, or not scummy developers, I'm sorry. These scummy CEOs and fucking board execs want to make crazy amounts of money.
Yeah, and they see Fortnite took off with its battle pass system. And now everybody's aping it. And you know what? I bet Sony is going to get in on it. One of their games, maybe it's Last of Us Factions, who knows? Or one of the other games as a service games. But they're going to get in on it too. Thank God Nintendo don't get in on it.
Yeah.
Yet they'll get in on it when fuck
slow to, get on board with a lot of
They
shit,
just got in on
they
mobile games in the past few years. Like, Nintendo will get in on the battle passes when we're already onto the next thing.
I mean, Fire Emblem Heroes and Pokemon Go came out in, 2016 and 2017, respectively.
Well, yeah, but, mobile games are still popping off even in, 2010, 2011. The Angry Birds and the Flappy
I'm saying they're
Bird.
going to get on board eventually.
They'll get on board eventually, but they'll get on board when everybody else has gotten off the board. That's how slow they are.
We'll see.
But yeah,
all right, that's going to be it. I wanted to emphasize this before we wrapped up the video.
Yeah.
For those of you who made it to the end, obviously, somehow or some way, by some miracle, you happen to like our content. I implore you to please like and share our videos.
Yeah, hit that subscribe button. Hit that
we
subscribe
would
button.
appreciate
Hit
it.
that goddamn bell so you can see, so you can keep up with all the things we do. We're going to have a lot to do in 2023 because there's going to be a lot of games that come out. There's going to be a lot of news. Hopefully not Yuji Naka getting arrested for a third goddamn time.
Or Nintendo for the first time ever losing a DMCA attempt, which is pretty insane.
They lost that this year. Yeah.
Which I did not think I'd live to see a time Nintendo take that attempt would actually fail.
Crazy.
It happened.
Crazy.
But, we'll be covering a lot of news. Like I said, we're looking forward to Yuji Naka getting arrested a third time.
we're the sales figures, I know those are coming up soon, so we're excited for those as always. And all of that good shit.
Yeah, but this has been Slade.
And this has been In-Person Byron, and we will see you all next time for gaming news in 2023, because get ready for the fucking roller coaster. Bye-bye, everybody.